We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
3, 2, I'm about to tune
Hello, my global viewers. This is Jackie Elam Live Entertainment Unlimited, presented by 5 Star Dreams Production and Hot Mamas Productions. Woo-hoo! I'm Jackie Elam. If you haven't figured that out, welcome. I'm very excited about the show today. I have 2 guests in today. We're going to learn about short films today because they both have worked on several short films. I don't know too much about it, so I'm excited about learning whatever information they're going to tell us. So super excited. Also, next Saturday, I want to let all you guys know that my 2 sons will have a 30-minute segment after my show, and they will be interviewing show business kids. So showbiz kids interviewing showbiz kids. So it's going to be fun. We have the dancing scientist coming in during my show, which the kids will attend and participate in his experiments. And then right after, they will then sit down and they get to interview Sade, this beautiful Sade Kamora Young, right? Last name Young. And I have claimed her for one of my boys. I don't know which one will marry her, but do you see her? Okay, I've seen her in person. She's gorgeous. I just love her. So many beautiful kids in the business. We just love meeting people, and that's the great thing about show business. You get to meet people. You get to go places you probably would never go. You get to be part of something that will definitely be written in history and can be replayed, and that's the great thing. Also, I have this show and this platform so that we can talk to everybody in show business, whether you're just starting out, whether you've been in for a while and you're just still trying to push and just keep going until you get that one big break, or if you just love to do the art and just love to entertain and just want to entertain. And again, if you entertain, I want to know your name. I want to interview you. You can be an A-lister, you can be a producer, you can be a writer, you can be a social media entertainer, which I am also going to be picking the social media entertainer who I am going to interview very soon. So December 17th will be the show for, we said December 17th. Yes. So December 17th is the social media entertainers interview show. And I think I'm going to have 2. So one in the station, one over the phone, because they're all over the place and we can interview anybody from around the world. And you guys just make sure to tune in. And also, stay for 30 more minutes after my show to watch my boys as well. So that was a long introduction. Let's just get right to it. Today's show is going to be a little different. We're going to just take one commercial break in between these 2 guests. My first guest is Jeff Daly. Hello, welcome to my show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. This is awesome.
Oh, great. Have you been on any interviews before?
I have been interviewed before, but not for entertainment.
No, okay. For what?
I used to do a little bit of political stuff, and I've also in academics, things like that. Yeah.
Okay, I know, because I looked at your IMDb page, and I see that you've been in the business for about 15 years.
Well,
since 2001?
If you go by IMDb, yes.
Oh, okay, because I know sometimes they don't always, you have to make sure you get things added if they don't automatically add it, right?
And some things aren't appropriate for IMDb. So the whole time I was in Chicago doing the conservatory at Second City, doing shows there on stage. So stage shows don't make it on IMDb. I've been in a pilot. Those don't make it on IMDb.
That's true.
A lot of things on the web don't make it on IMDb.
Oh, web series.
Yes, it's really hard to get a web series on IMDb.
Oh, see, it's good to know.
So IMDb doesn't send me any money. They don't pay my bills.
But that is our official site that all actors kind of go to.
That is true,
check
and
if you've really done what you said.
But if you start looking at where this industry is going, it's really exciting because a lot of stuff's happening on YouTube. A lot of stuff is streaming, and IMDb is kind of it's in that studio.
So they need to update. Mode. They need to get hip with what's going on in today's entertainment.
They're going to become archaic, which is that happens a lot of times. People like to hold on to power as long as they can, and then while they're doing that, somebody else is working on the next thing. So, and I'm working on some next things I can't really talk about, but I'm hoping to disrupt the distribution models for a lot of this kind of content that we do.
So are you saying more of the today's content, the social media content, the kind of content that you can create on your own? You're trying to disrupt the way that it's getting out?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can't talk about that?
Well, the thing is, when you talk about those, they're too easy to steal, the idea.
Oh, well, yeah. What? No, we need you to be copywritten and patented and all that other stuff. You don't want to...
I'll come back and talk about that later.
You can come back. Always come back. So where are you from? And how did you get started in the business?
Well, I'm from Kalamazoo, Michigan. I won't sell it or spell it or anything.
Okay.
I did shows in high school. I did shows in college. And then I was on my way to law school, visited my friend in Chicago, and he said, you should just go audition for Second City. And I said, no, I've never done improv, and that scares me. I like a script. I feel like that's somebody's job to do the words, and my job is to make those words come to life, right?
Exactly.
So he goes, okay, then they have this improv for actors class. So I went down and I just took that over the summer, and I got hooked. And so I auditioned and got in the conservatory, and I did shows there. I wrote, they had a radio show back then. I wrote for them. And that really got me in there. And then I moved to LA.
Okay. And then moving out here, that industry where you're from, is it totally different, of course, from out here?
Oh, Chicago's completely different.
Is it more Broadway? Or more plays?
It's a lot more stage. There's a lot of commercials.
Okay.
A lot of also things called industrials, which also would never make it on IMDb.
Yeah, what is that? I've never heard
industrials of that. Are when you do things for like a corporate client that they play for their audience. Whoops, sorry about that.
That will happen several times, so just keep talking.
All right. They play it for their audience, so it might go to their salespeople. It might go
like within their company?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or out to their customers or on their websites or things like that. Like, for instance, another thing that I did I can't believe I forgot to say this, that's not on IMDb. And most of the things I do are comedic.
I was going to ask you, are you a comedian or a comedic actor?
No, I never.
We recently learned that there are differences.
Yeah, I've never stood on a stage and told a crowd how beautiful they are and how glad I was to be there. So I don't do stand-up comedy. I've never done that. I've done improvisation a lot, and I'm more of a comedic actor, but I'm more well-rounded than that, but I'm trying to carve out a niche in comedic acting. So Chicago is very improv. So LA is not a stage town, except for promoting oneself. So it's completely different. But what I was saying is the one thing that I get recognized for the most will never be on IMDb. I hosted a medical show that plays in doctors' offices across the country. So there's the America's Minority Health Network. So they're in doctors' offices all over the place. I've been recognized from that. We'd go to conventions, and doctors and nurses would come like, "Oh, you play in my office." And
so maybe they do need to update, what all they report, because to be honest, I think commercials should definitely be on IMDb. Those are great gigs. Sometimes they're national, sometimes they run for years, and it's work, and it should be recognized. But I guess they just cater more to TV and film, and also short films.
Yeah, you can get your short films on there. Short films don't automatically go on there, of course.
Okay, while we're speaking about short films, I don't really know too much about them because my boys have never done any. So what is a short film?
Well, it's a film that's short.
No, I know that. Like, how long is it? Like, is it a certain quality? Does it have to be shot a certain way? Or
it literally is just like another film, only the story is better told in a shorter amount of time.
So what's that time?
It could be anything. I work with the Catalina Film Festival, so I watch a lot of short films when I judge. And there are some literally a minute long. Some go 35, because 35, 40 minutes still is short. Most are in that 10 to 15 minute range. It really is just about the story. I've seen some feature films that I thought would have made a great short. Because their story
could have took half of this out because the rest of this is trash.
You take out the 28 minutes of car chases.
Yeah.
And you got yourself a short.
We want the action though.
You do want the action, but 3 minutes of a car chase is enough.
Okay, that's a good question. So most likely short films won't have action because that requires a bigger budget. If you have stuntmen and you have car chases, you have to rent the cars, and so short films normally would be more drama, more
not necessarily. I mean, the things that I do that I've written are all comedic so far. I have some things I want to do that are more dramatic.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a more creative freedom because you're not burdened with investors. Because nobody wants to invest. It's not an investment medium. You're never going to recoup your
the money that you spent on a short.
It's more promotional. It's more like I told you, I work with the Catalina Film Festival, and you try to get into festivals, and you go there and you show your work, and people get hired. The cinematographer might get hired if somebody likes the way that short looked. An actor might get noticed.
Okay.
Because industry people go to these festivals.
So it's not like a short teaser to a bigger project. It is just strictly a short film for the purpose of just creating and just working.
Some people have shorts that they have. Or he's like, oh, well, I have a feature-length script in my pocket, so if somebody wants to give me money, we can expand this thing out.
Okay, from that.
And
okay.
add all that sizzle and all of that. But a lot of these are complete stories, and it's such a shame that nobody gets to see them.
That is true.
Which is part of my disruption process. Is I would love to shine a light on all of these things. I mean. And the sad part is I can't even show them because they're not mine. So.
So let me ask you a question then. So where would you take your short film are there requirements? Because do you have certain kinds of cameras? Do you need to have it to look like quality filming so that it draws the interest of people, or it could just be shot on anything, like on an iPhone and whatever, and get your point across?
You do have people that will shoot on phones.
Okay.
And you can. The phones are getting better. If you do that because you think you're saving money, you are going to need some good lighting, and so you're still going to be spending money even though you're shooting on a phone. A lot of times, though, you can get some attention from shooting on a phone. So like Apple does things like shot on a phone.
Yeah. Is it really?
And then you have people that are super fans of their brand that they've chosen. So if they see that it was shot on the phone that they use, then they're going to go watch that. But really, there aren't any rules.
Okay.
I mean, we shoot mostly on DSLR. I am going to try to kick it up on the next one, maybe do a red, but I'm going to have to rent that. So that means I'm going to have.
And what is the difference between a DLR and a red?
A DSLR?
DSLR.
Well, a red can shoot in 4K. A red is you could shoot.
This is foreign language, but okay. He's a cameraman too, or a photographer too.
There's high def.
Okay, I know that one.
High def is 1080p. So,
okay, I know that one.
All right, so that's equivalent to like 1K.
Okay.
So a red can shoot 4 times that.
Okay.
Resolution, which is amazing for a lot of reasons. When you blow it up, it looks better. If they were shooting us in 4K right now, and they wanted to do an isolation on you, they can go down 4 times in post, and then they've got your close-up shot without shooting it separately.
Oh, I see.
So you can be a little more efficient with your time that way. It's cool stuff.
Okay, so there are no limits with the cameras.
No
limits with the timing of a short film. But what is the ultimate goal? Where do you showcase your short film?
I do film. I submit to film festivals, and I also play things online.
Okay.
So, and you're just trying to build an audience. Now, right now, the things I'm working on, I'm trying to build an audience, because an audience in this new market is leverage.
Okay.
So if you can get people following what you do, and then you go to pitch to a network or a studio, if you have a couple million people that have watched your thing, you then have leverage to say, no, we are not celebrities. No, this is not a formula of everything that you've ever put on TV before.
Okay.
But we have a following. So why don't you give us a shot? So that's the goal right now. That's the mindset that I'm in, is putting stuff out there in a way that gets people interested in what you do, and hopefully they will stay with you in the long term, and you can leverage that into an IMDb worthy kind of success
platform. Yeah. Yes. Well, that's great. So what are you working on now?
What I'm working on.
Wait. Let me just say this. I just saw on Facebook the thingy that you just post. That's the Intimidator.
Yes.
Intimidator. Okay.
And now I'm going to talk really loud.
What is that?
Intimidator. It's my idea for it really is to be a sitcom.
Okay.
And I really want it to be a 2-screen experience because I think out of the box. Intimidator is the story of people who are making a moderately successful web series, whatever that means, about dating and dating advice. He gives really dubious advice. He's horribly arrogant, probably a little sexist, but then as soon as they say cut off camera, he's shy. He doesn't like the attention that he's getting from this success, and he's very uncomfortable and awkward with it. Mm-hmm. So you get to see a contrast of what is somebody's on-screen personality versus the off-screen personality, and all of the people around him, how they are, and they each have like a very distinct personality. If you watch that, then you see like the cameraman, he takes that advice very seriously and uses it on the actresses that show up on set, and he's actually stumbles and becomes successful. He uses that bad advice to become successful with the ladies.
Okay.
The ladies. Yes.
Okay, so then that's a project that you're working on that you're also trying to do as a short film or a web series.
Well, here's the thing. I see it as a web series. I know that a web series isn't going to accomplish some of the goals that I have for it. This is a good tip for actors out there, that especially if you want to be union or you have people that want to be union, you want to do a new media contract with SAG. So anybody can do it, can go to SAG-AFTRA, sorry, they've merged.
Yes, they have.
If you can get, there's a new media contract, you don't have to have a budget, you don't have to pay to do it. And it's for things that are going new media. So you can Taft-Hartley people. I've Taft-Hartleyed probably 5 people that way.
Oh, that's great. So now they can get their credit for working on a short film. So prior to this new media, you couldn't get credit for working on a short film?
You can, SAG-AFTRA.
Wait, but it has to be qualified by SAG-AFTRA first, right?
Yeah, you need the contract ahead of time.
Okay.
And because you can't hire a SAG-AFTRA actor.
That is true.
Unless you are working on a SAG-AFTRA contract. So the new media lowers the barrier of cost to getting into it. And if people self-produce on a SAG-AFTRA contract, you can pretty much Taft-Hartley yourself.
Oh.
So if you do everything the right way.
Okay.
And maybe one day you can have a show about just that. I mean, it's fascinating. If you dig into that information, you can take a little bit of control on how your career starts, because you don't want to be non-union forever.
You don't.
And I did it the hard way. I was
going to say that because I see that you've been in the business for like 15 years. And of course, we already discovered that you've done way more than what IMDb say, but it's only 10 projects on there in 15 years. And I just thought, well, he's just going to keep grinding. I was wondering, is it just the love of the art that you keep pushing, or you're just creating your own content outside of what is normal in the business so that you can stay working?
Right. Well, there's a lot of parts to that question. So I do keep grinding, because no matter what you do in this business, you got to grind.
Yeah.
There's just no easy way to make it. If there was, that's exactly what I would do, because my natural instinct is to be lazy. So this business takes me out of that comfort zone real quick. So I'm always writing something. And Lindsay didn't show up, but she's my producer, and I talked to her about what should we do next to create, because what we're trying to do is, I'm not just trying to be an actor. That's why you don't see credit after credit after credit. I got rid of my agent. Don't care about auditioning.
Oh,
I don't do that.
Well, then that makes sense to the IMDb 10 projects because, okay, I was going to ask, is that a strategy? Are you an actor that's trying to write and produce, or are you a writer and producer that sometimes act?
What I am a content creator.
Okay.
I don't have to act in everything. But I don't have to write it, and I don't have to direct it. But I want to be a creative force.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to sound like bigger than I think I am, at least on camera. Off camera, I will tell you how amazing I am at everything that I do because I'm in love with me.
Yes, and you should be.
I know.
You really should be. Everybody should be in love with themselves.
You should have a healthy relationship with self.
Yourself.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I'm trying to create something huge.
Okay.
And a lot of times something huge, it explodes. You don't notice it until everything's built up.
Okay.
And then it explodes. So we are creating content. What I'm doing with it is I put it out there to create a following, but I'm also keeping it. I also keep my eye on other people who are creating content, and I meet them at the film festival. I meet them online. People introduce me to people, and we're going to create an environment of powerful, creative people. They don't need to be funny. They don't have to be dramatic. They just have to be good.
Okay.
And you spoke earlier about production value.
Yes.
Production.
Just like the quality of it. Say, for instance, if you're going to take your short and you want to get it into a film festival, how hard is it to get it into the film festival? And shouldn't it have some type of quality, like minimum requirement?
It should, but have you watched TV lately?
I mean, I'm not saying the content. I'm saying like how it's shot, though. You know what I mean? Like, because it could come out not as clear just based on your camera.
But think about the YouTube generation. Do you know
they're doing it with their cell phones?
Yeah. Do you know what people under a certain age? I don't remember the actual age it is. They don't care. They don't care about this obsession we've had with production value. Oh, I think you need to beef up the colors a little bit. Like, they don't care about that.
Okay.
Their audience cares about the content.
Okay.
They will forgive a lot of the production value thing. What they won't forgive usually is audio, because bad audio takes you out of it.
Yeah, that's true.
It takes you out of it. But you can shoot on a phone. And to me, the best project you can ever do is the one that you can do. So if all you have is a phone, but you have a good idea, you have some time, you have some talented people, and you have a vision, and you just can't stop yourself from creating, I shoot it on the phone.
Shoot it on the phone. Just get it out. Because that's what I'm like. If you have that creativity in, it wants to come out. And you have to allow yourself. And that's why I love today's show business world. It's because no longer do you have to sit around and wait for the network to take interest in you. You don't have to wait for investors to come. You can pretty much do whatever it is that you're trying to do on your own to your best ability, and whatever resource you have, just do it.
And you should.
Right.
Did you say just do it?
Just do it.
Do we have to pay for that?
No, that is not the trademark of them.
I had nothing to do with it. I'm just putting that out there. So and back to what we were talking about. So you make your short film, you submit it to festivals. Now, if you're smart, you go and figure out which festivals you can submit to on a website called Without a Box.
Withoutabox.com.
Yes.
Okay,
which is owned by, wait for it, Amazon.com.
Okay.
You know who else? You know what else Amazon.com owns?
No.
IMDb.com.
Oh.
So how you get on IMDb.com is you submit to a qualified festival through Without a Box. You can pretty much, for a short film, you can pretty much submit your way onto IMDb. Yes.
Okay.
So the IMDb thing to me is just, it's
I know
a little,
for you, I just looked, I felt like that's just our industry website. That's how you qualify the person who say that they are a producer,
right.
an actor. Because if you ain't on IMDb, I just don't believe you. I don't care what your business card say.
So,
but we've learned.
My business card says I'm the chief awesome officer.
Okay.
And you are not going to find that on IMDb.
No, there is no CAO.
There's no CAO. There will be.
Yes.
There will be.
Because you are a creator.
I'm a creator, and I've just said it now on this creative outlet. Now everybody should be the chief awesome officer of their own production company.
You should have trademarked that before you said it.
No.
Oh, it's okay.
It's one of those that you want out there.
Yeah. So you get it into the film festival. You say if they're smart, they need to research what kind of film festival based on their project, or it doesn't matter. You just want it to be seen.
It does. It doesn't. It depends on your goals. If your goal is to get on IMDb, submit it to the cheapest festival on without a box that you can find. You don't even have to get in the festival to get on IMDb. You just have to submit.
Okay.
So you do that. There's a lot of festivals now that's kind of exploding.
And so you just said cheapest. So festivals cost?
Yes, you have to pay to enter them.
Okay.
I mean,
I have someone
some are
coming
free.
in soon, and he does Dave Brown is coming in on a Saturday, and he does every Saturday. He does film festivals here in LA or Beverly Hills, I want to say. Oh, at the Chinese Theater. He does it at the Chinese Theater every Saturday, so that's an outlet for
films?
you. He will showcase short films, exactly. So don't answer the questions about festivals. I'll wait till December.
Okay. Right.
Let's wait till he comes.
I might call in though.
You'll call in then, Jeff. Call in.
I have called in before.
No, you did. Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you were going to do that.
Yeah.
So that's good though. So you're constantly creating. You get it into the film festival, and then that's it. It's just like that's pretty much the journey of the short film. You're pretty much done. You're on to the next one.
No, when you're done with the film festival circuit, you can release it online.
Okay.
Because most film festivals, if it's distributed and you putting it on your website counts as distribution, which means that anybody can go out there and watch it.
Yeah.
Right? They don't want to be involved with that. Because they still want people to go to the festivals, and if you want to see new exciting things, you go to the festivals. So when the festival's over, you put it out there online, and that's when you start. You say which festivals you've been in. You do the brag thing, and you try to get people to watch, try to get people to follow all of your social things. Because remember, and I'm speaking on my goals, you're building leverage.
Okay,
you're building
your followers. And can short films win awards?
Yeah,
Can they be recognized at these film festivals and win?
You can get an Oscar. There's short film categories for Oscars, animated, documentary, and
they don't give Oscars to stunt people? No, wait a minute, this is an injustice. They're risking their life and they're not even on the Oscar. No, they don't get Oscars. Stunt performers should get Oscars.
They should, and I know some. They completely deserve.
Yeah, absolutely. People lose their lives in that business, and so it's a very dangerous business. But that's great to know, though.
But saying that stunt performers should get Oscars doesn't, to me, minimize that short films
I'm just saying, jump off a building with maybe wires. Nowadays they do use wires. Run through fire, and then you just did a short film for 1 minute and you get an Oscar. I'm just saying. The work required.
It's highly doubtful that a 1 minute short got
Everybody
an Oscar.
deserves to be in the category for sure. Just to get your work recognized, if it's great work and you had a great following and the response was very well on the project, it should be recognized.
And you can see the Oscar nominated shorts. It's now the Sundance Theater on Sunset. It used to be something else. I've forgotten what it used to be. Because Oscar, one of the requirements is you have to showcase in a theater. So they put together the bundles, and you can see all the Oscar-nominated films.
Well, once or twice I have seen a short in front of like an animated movie. If I took my boys to a movie, sometimes you'll see a short of like a animation right before the big movie.
Like Pixar was.
Yeah, something like that. They do, and I guess that's considered being showcased in the movie theater too, if they do it right before a film.
Yes.
Or it needs to actually be for that purpose of seeing that short film.
No, because short films used to show in where we now watch trailers.
Okay.
At a movie. That's why a long movie is called a feature film. You're there for the feature, but they showed short films leading up to it. But as things got commercialized, short films got shoved out, and trailers for other features got put in there.
Okay. Well, this has been very informative. And
it's super fun.
When are you going to have Intimidator completely ready? Because you said you're not sure if you're going to do it as a short, or you're really pushing for it to be a web series, right?
No, I need to make it a short film because I've promised people that I'm going to get them on IMDb and get them Taft-Hartley. So I'm gonna have to make a version of it that's a short film. I do want it to be a web series as well. I'll just have to cut it differently. But if they just follow along at Daily Dose on Twitter, Facebook, everywhere, I'm Daily Dose.
Also, all social media is Daily Dose.
Yep, Daly, no E's, no I's.
Okay.
Dose.
Dose.
And then the feature film that you saw is called Rock and Roll the Movie.
Yes.
That I'm only in like the first 10 minutes.
Okay.
But it's
but you have to tell them that you are playing.
I'm playing an old woman.
That way they will look out for the old woman.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're like, he said he was in this movie.
Right. You'll know, because the producer said, I didn't even recognize you. I thought that was an unfortunate woman. But you can watch Rock and Roll the Movie on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, you have to keep pushing.
I will.
Keep creating.
I will. Because I don't want to disappoint you.
Well, yeah. Well, yourself. We said it's all about self.
I do love me.
Yeah, love yourself.
I do love me. But I know you love you too, so I don't want to disappoint you.
Yeah, Jackie, she's just everything to me.
I know. And she works out on Instagram, so you want to follow her on Instagram.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Jeff, for coming in. Great information. I had no idea about how any short film work. I've never done any of them, and my sons haven't, and in their family they've never done any, so I had no idea. But this was great. This was informative, and that means that you out there, if you want to be a producer, a writer, or director, don't wait for people to come to you. Pull out your phone and get to filming. Well, first write, make sure it's good, the plot, the storyline, make it something that people would be interested in, and then start shooting. So great. Thank you so much, Jeff. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I will.
Okay, because I want to know more about Intimidator with the web series and everything.
All right.
And we shout out your social media. We're bringing Tasha Dixon next. You guys will recognize her face when she gets on. Well, you might have already seen the banner. But anyway, stay tuned. We'll be right back. Jackie Elam.
We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Introducing Cover Your Child in the Entertainment Industry, an informative and revealing book from author Jackie Elam. Jackie Elam is an experienced and working actress, mom, and manager whose two sons are child actors that have worked in motion pictures, modeling, television shows, and commercials. Cover Your Child in the Entertainment Industry is an enlightening and instructive book that teaches parents how to get their child into the entertainment industry and provides answers to some of the tough questions for parents who already have children in show business. Author Jackie Elam wrote this book to educate and empower parents to be proactive and learn the ins and outs of the business, as well as the laws that govern it in California and other states. As a parent, you'll learn what to look for in contracts, how you can avoid being a victim of fraud, set stories, how to take the pressure off of your child to make the entire process fun, and so much more. Order your copy of Cover Your Child in the Entertainment Industry today by logging on to www.jackieelam.com. Introducing Cover Your Child in the Entertainment Industry, an informative and revealing.
And I'm your boy, Cali Sportsman, inviting you to join us
every Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific on the Sports Lounge Live.
Explore the world of sports, from amateur to the pros, the community on a global level, relevant sports news, and guess what? We even have live studio guests.
So don't forget to tune into the Sports Lounge Live every Saturday, 2 p.m. Pacific, exclusively on LATalkLive.com and the America Talk Live Broadcast Network.
Reality radio, handcrafted for your listening and viewing pleasure. This is LA Talk Live.
And we are more than just talk.
Welcome, this is Greg, inviting you to tune in Saturday, 6 p.m. to the Mystic Ballroom. All vinyl most of the time, and we'll cover psychedelic, soul, garage, and much, much more. Myself and the Young Mogul, we're bringing you this every Saturday at 6 p.m. exclusively on LATalkLive.com. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio R&B, or you can listen directly at LATalkLive.com. Reality radio, handcrafted for yours and mine listening and viewing pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
3, 2, I'm about to tune in now. She gives the voice to the voiceless. I'm about to tune in now. If you entertain, she wants to know your name. I'm about to
Global viewers, thank you for tuning in. And also, this is the second segment. We have Tasha Dixon with us. You guys may have recognized her from this past week and a half. She's been on several news media outlets. CNN, CBS, Stephen Colbert, and we don't need to replay why she was on there, but I'm just so excited to have her here because she too is an actress, a writer, and a director. She is not just the person that was just on these news stations, and that's not what we know her from. We know her from being in show business. So thank you so much for coming on to my show.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. So I know, and we won't say the name, but I know that you were recently on these news media outlets to speak up about an experience you had with one of the presidential candidates, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so since then, I know that you've been extremely careful with what you say, which, you know, I commend you for that. Because even when I watched you, because she told me to watch, and I watched, I'm like, she's very careful. I'm like, and she repeated it. And I'm like, that was smart too, because, you know, you don't have to be concerned about whatever could happen, may not happen, won't happen. It's just
exactly.
a lot of, I think it's more, you know,
so
talk
much
than
drama.
anything. Yeah, it's just so much, but that's been this entire process.
Yeah.
I mean, this particular, these two candidates are drama filled, and it's just been a great show, basically. A wonderful show. So I just wanted to know, like, how has it been since you've come off of those media outlets and circuits and sharing your experience? How has it been now?
It's been pretty intense. I do enjoy the positive feedback I've gotten, you know, because I did want to speak up for what I felt was right and educate people in terms of who they're voting for and actually inspire them to research all the candidates more.
On their own.
Yeah, on their own, and not just go off sound bites or GIFs or memes or what they hear on their own curated Facebook that's, you know, their friends, but like read the articles and look into other news outlets, you know. So that's what I hope to inspire, and I did receive a lot of compliments for that. But at the same time, this is the most polarizing election that I've ever witnessed, and I think that's been in our history of the
America.
United States. Yeah.
Yes.
So there's been some crazy emails, and even right after everything happened, just parking on the street and walking into a store, you know, I got called the B word by a guy, and he started like aggressively coming towards me. So it's and I'm just corroborating what was said
already
and bragged
said.
about already.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, so I really want to inspire people to actually take the time to look at, you know, the full articles or read the whole thing or watch the whole video and watch it from different sources, not just mine. I'm just saying in general, whatever you're looking at about whatever policy, instead of just, you know, because I feel like I'm getting lumped into these other stories that I'm not
that
even
you're not
a
a part of, because your story definitely was different from the other, you know, big thing that came out. So it's like, I don't even get it. I didn't even get it because you literally just repeated what that person, that presidential candidate said on their own.
Yeah. And to me, that's more of a statement about the country of, you know, we're so wrapped up in reality shows and like all these things, all these forms of entertainment, and the election has become its own circus reality show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just feeding and festering these really bad thoughts in the world, and I think we need to purge that and just start using your brain more and your heart more in really taking everything in before making a decision.
And we forget so easily in America. We really forget. And every since you've done your interviews, I'm like, let me just go research the other one, you know, because we keep hearing about this one because we know that's a normal tactic that they may do, put out all the negative press on each other right before the election. But I'm like, okay, now that this has come out against you, let me go check the other one. And girl,
And that's what I want to happen. Like I want people to elect to think.
I went years back, 8 years back. Let's go further back. We're only focused on today and what's happening today.
It's just dangling that carrot in front, and then other things.
It's so that you're distracted from the entire careers of these two candidates. Let's go all the way back, so then we can make a clear decision on who we want to vote for.
Yeah.
And not just what's being thrown out there right now to feed you into whatever drama or violence.
Yeah.
Because there has been violence promoted as well during this presidential candidacy. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But since then, the great thing is, it's about to be over. November 8th is right around
Hopefully the world won't be over, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the world won't be over. Well, I don't know what these dang on presidents. One of these presidents going to end it all. Or both. Anyways, now after I saw what the other one has done on her career. I said her. Anyways.
Do your research, people.
Yeah. Well, they could both be hers or hims. So the great thing is that that's not your life. You just went on, you just had a moment to, and I think you probably did it just because did you feel a duty to do it?
Yeah, I just wanted to do what I felt was right. Okay. And I'm not trying to sway people any which way on how to vote.
And you did not, because I watched your interview. You were just very right here in the middle.
Yeah.
This is what I experienced. And
then you make your decision from there. But I felt like, people should know this and that it is a real thing that happens, and
right.
and make your decision with a wider depth of knowledge. And that's all. And I really liked what I did in just standing up for what's right, because I feel like people nowadays either feel like their vote doesn't matter, their voice doesn't matter. They're too scared and bullied into standing up for what's right. And
That's
if
so
it's
true.
right, speak your truth.
Speak it up.
And it's like what I do with acting and filmmaking. I do want to change the world and make it a better place and entertain and educate people. And that's what I want to do with my art. And this was my voice to be able to just frankly state something that's right. And it's not right to treat people that way.
That is so true.
Not.
We're going to show a quick video or audio, or quick audio really quick, and then we'll get now to your career.
Trump has been fending off attacks like a woman meeting Donald Trump. There's the woman who sat next to him on the plane, a People magazine reporter, a contestant on The Apprentice, and a former Miss Arizona who described Trump's behavior backstage at the Miss USA pageant.
He just came strolling right in. There was no second to put a robe on or any sort of clothing or anything. Some girls were topless, other girls were naked.
Okay. Sounds bad. But Mr. Trump, do you have a response?
Lies. No witnesses, no nothing. All big lies.
Okay, lies. All lies, he says. Was there anyone at all backstage at this pageant who could corroborate her story?
I'll go backstage before a show. Yes. And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. So they're standing there with no clue. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
Look, folks. What are you going to do? It's a classic case of she said, he said, hell yeah.
All right. Well, enough of that one.
Yes.
Let's go on to your career. So you've been in the business. Well, okay. I always go to IMDb because I just feel like, where else can I go and find what you've done? And I saw, did you start around 1999, or did you two have projects that may not all be on IMDb prior?
I did plays as a kid and stuff like that, so that's not on IMDb. But for the most part, a lot of the credits are on there other than the commercials and things like that.
And you also write and produce, correct?
Write and direct.
Write and direct.
Yes.
There is a difference.
But I may end up producing too.
That's what I love about the business, because you don't have one title, you don't have one face. We have a caller online. Mm-hmm. Hello, caller. Welcome to Jackie Elam Live, Entertainment Unlimited. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Diana. I'm from Denver, Colorado.
Hi, Diana from Denver, Colorado.
Hi. Thanks for having me on the show. Tasha, I have a question for you. I have worked with child abuse and sex abuse victims for many, many years, and one of the problems that we face is that people often feel like if they don't disclose immediately, they must be lying. Having gone through your experience and having experienced the backlash that you experienced and the support, what would you say to people who haven't yet disclosed?
Well, I would besides addressing the people who have not yet disclosed, I think it's important for people to understand in traumatizing situations, whether it's rape or PTSD of some sort, it takes time to process it. And with women, there's a lot of denial and self-shame and scare of what's going to happen, how someone's going to be viewed. And it takes a lot of courage to come out and say something and speak your truth if you can even muster it to that point. And I think people need to realize and understand that it's a much larger issue than what we even see today, and it's such a shame that someone finally gets the strength to step forward and then they just get beaten down and said they're being an opportunist or saying they're doing it for other reasons. But I would just say, if it's in your heart to speak up, stand tall, and the thing you have to fear is fear itself. And speaking your truth, you're speaking for hundreds of other people who can't at the time, and you can take solace in standing in your truth.
Great
wow.
answer.
That's
a great answer.
Thank you for your courage.
And thank you
Absolutely.
for that question.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you for the question. Continue to watch. Thank you so much. So, I know that was so wonderful, but we have to get to the acting.
Yes.
So you direct and you write, and I noticed too about half, but I've seen it's been pretty consistent for you. It's been about 17 years since 1999, I think, around that time, and you've done a lot. You've done TV and film and a lot of short films as well. What's your approach?
Commercials.
And commercials. What, the commercials don't go on IMDb,
I know.
so I
Just
can't
say
see
it.
it. I know.
I did. I worked with Tommy Chong on a project, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
So is that your approach for short films? Is it to just continue to get your creativity out, or it's for you to create?
It's a little bit of everything. I mean, I think if you really have the desire and passion to be a filmmaker, whether it's directing, editing, acting, writing, all of the above, do it anywhere you can. I mean, you look at the greats that I admire, Steven Spielberg, J.J. Abrams. They were doing it when it was really hard to on a Super 8 camera and no sound and editing it and cutting the tape. And now it's so easy. And the more you cut your teeth and practice, if you love it, you never know where it can go. And see, I love short films because it can also be a proof of concept. Okay. And if it's fantastic and well received, it could inspire you to do an idea for a feature or a show, or if someone sees it and they're just blown away by it, then they might go, hey, let's reshoot this and make this into a pilot for this network, or let's expand it into a movie. One of the stories is that happened with Dodgeball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's wonderful. So shorts are a great thing.
And even the awesome Good Will Hunting.
Okay.
Allegedly,
it was a short.
It's not a short film, but it was a short theater piece that they did, live, and then they developed it into what it was, the magnificent movie that it became.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
Yeah.
See, I've learned a lot because I always thought and again, it was just dealing with kids. I just thought that I should stay away from short films because at that time they weren't SAG, so I'm like, it's just a waste of time, but it's not, because it's creativity and it's a lot of great content, and you can even shop it at film festivals. Do you shop your shorts there? Have you produced? I mean, I keep saying that. I think you're meant to be a producer.
I know. I have a script a feature that I've written that I will probably end up producing in some level.
Okay.
My ideal is like directing and acting.
So those that you have directed on and wrote, have you also taken it to any film festivals?
Yeah, I definitely take it to film festivals and showcase it wherever I can. If you have I think more importantly than, it's just a short film or it's, whatever. If you're SAG, follow the union rules and do what you need.
Exactly.
But also read the script or the concept. And if you love it, do it. Or if you have an idea, make it. You don't have to wait until you have $50,000 or $3 million to make it. You can make it short and make it awesome. And then if nothing else, like as an actor or director, you can have the piece for your reel.
Oh, that's true.
Even if it doesn't expand into a feature project or something like that, if it's really well done and a great scene, you can totally utilize that, to do the roles you want to do or say the messages that you want to say.
Exactly. So although you are a writer, are you also open to receiving different scripts from others that may do short films so that you can direct it?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Have you done that already?
Besides developing my own projects, I'm always reading projects, and if it's something that I can get behind and want to do, absolutely. And I love all genres. I mean, I basically say I'm like the Sandra Bullock. Like I'll do the comedy, the slapstick stuff, and then I can do the really serious, serious but vulnerable, strong woman too.
Yes, I love that. And what are you working on now?
So, well, if you go to IMDb and you type Tasha Dixon.
I saw some post-production.
Yes.
Yes.
So my reel is on there. And right now I have a project called Under the Bed that was actually produced by Appian Way, which is Leonardo DiCaprio's company.
Okay.
That's going to be coming out pretty soon.
Is that in 2017?
I'm thinking so. It's right now it's in post-production and all of that. So we never know exactly when it's going to come out as the actors. But very excited. It's a nice little thriller.
Oh, that's great. And so you've even done a thriller. So you've done pretty much every genre?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, at least of what I can think of offhand.
And that's very diverse because sometimes people are typecast and then they get stuck into a certain type of role. And maybe that's part of you creating different short films or working on different projects. You can play different characters and not wait around.
That's definitely where you get your power back because you can portray the roles you want to portray. So dude, get pigeonholed so you can be making the money off playing that detective on the procedurals and then go shoot a little comedy on the side and go, look, I'm funny too.
But that's good. See, I love today's show business. It's so different.
Make, do, create.
What would you say is the biggest difference since you started back in 99, maybe 10 years ago versus, 15 years ago? Do you see such a big difference in a change in the industry?
There's so much more empowerment. Like it really is, instead of waiting around for the phone to ring, because there's so many factors that go into whether you get cast or not that have nothing to do with talent and everything to do with everything else.
Precisely.
This is where you empower yourself and you say the messages that you want to say. And like, even with me stepping up, in our earlier conversation, you have the power and you have the voice. And I feel like society has beaten us down to think you don't, and you do. And you can even do it in a 5-minute short and it goes viral and your message is out there. I have this group with my friends. I call it Manifestation Nation. Okay. And it's like you really can manifest it.
That is true.
Yeah.
Speak it, do it, and then it'll be there.
Exactly.
And that's not copywritten. Speak it.
Trademark sign.
Is it? Wait a minute, I don't know. We got to look that up.
Yeah. Manifestation Nation. Trademark sign.
TM, didn't get to the R. But that's good. So you are all about empowerment and all about educating and just getting out and be who you are.
And compassion, yeah. And I think there's power in compassion, and everything right now is like, don't show your feelings and be strong and push the other person down. And a really true leader lifts other people up. They take the time to see the other side, and then they make their decision with a level head.
That's right.
That's what leaders do. And we should all strive to want to be
leaders. And then even more so, I feel, in show business, because it's so much competition within people, because it's really not competition. Either it's yours or it's not. And like you said, if it's not a role for you, then go create it yourself and keep the work going.
Or if they don't see you in it and you see yourself in it, then put some scenes together as that character and do it. And then show them for the next time. Like, yes, I am this character. Here, let me send you these clips.
I love that. So the music industry has changed so much. The acting industry has changed so much. Even for writers now. I remember years ago, the writers had a strike. And, it's so hard for them to get in. Of course, once they're in. But it's so hard for them to get in. They should just write on their own.
Yeah.
What else have you not done in the business that you want to do?
Oh, good question. Well, I produced like a commercial type thing last year, but I've not done like the full gamut of producing.
Okay.
So that's
And what is that? What's the difference?
Well, so I was kind of like an assistant producer. So I ran like the on-set during the day stuff, but not the big vision, big scope kind of thing. And I feel like with the feature I wrote, to a certain extent, although I want to have a producer take on the roles, I do have to have that big vision.
Yes.
So I'll probably be taking that on. And then I've been learning some more editing so that I can do that as well.
You are just well-rounded. I'm going to shoot my own film, get in front of the camera, act it, then I'm going to direct it, and then I'm going to edit it.
I went
and distribute it.
I went to school on a full ride academic scholarship. So we learned every aspect of filmmaking. So editing, directing, acting, most everything that you can do, which is great because then you have no excuse other than procrastinating.
I'm so glad you said that. There are no excuses today. If you have music, make it.
And there's YouTube to learn if you don't know.
And exactly, we can research everything. Yeah. That's great. So I am excited that you get to share who you are, not the interviews you did last week or so. So other than the acting industry, what do you do outside? Are you part of any nonprofit organization? Do you give back? Do you speak to kids? I mean, because you have a passion and a voice, obviously, to speak up for women.
Yeah.
That's what made you come forward.
Yeah. Well, and for the kids, I actually wrote a book for kids when I was Miss Hispanic Arizona and Miss Arizona called Ready, Set, Go for Your Goals, all about goal setting and ethnic diversity. And that's the other reason why I stepped forward, because this kind of behavior that's being seen by presidential candidates, I have a little cousin that I love so much, a little boy. And not only are we making it acceptable by allowing this kind of talk to happen, but we're exponentially growing the problem because people don't realize little boys and little girls look up to the president of the United States and they go, wow, so I have to act like that to be successful. Right. Not even just that, it's okay to say that, but that's how a successful person behaves.
Behaves, right.
Behavior. Male or woman. There's, so many things that are not appropriate. And I feel like, we should change that dialogue, or at least talk about it and change this horrible atmosphere we have of negativity that's going around.
It is so much negativity. And I think did reality TV do it? Or no, Jerry Springer. It was Jerry, because before reality TV was Jerry Springer. He was the drama show, the fighting, and and Sally. Remember Sally's show? And yeah, I remember that. So it's like, at the end of the day, I think the culture of our country, and as well our shows that are on the air, is promoting violence and drama and cuss her out and go over here and be in their business, and it's just everywhere. And it was so sad. I mean, it's just so sad that even our presidential campaign candidates
just is encouraging this bullying mentality.
They are encouraging it.
And that's why I want to say, no, your voice matters. Make something, say something, write something. You know what I mean? Like, it can get out there. It's not that hard if you do it from your heart with good intentions. That's how you start to change the script of the world, because everybody looks to us, to our country, and we can change the script. And people don't realize they have the power.
We really have the power.
They answer to us.
They do, but I don't know. I think that we don't, and you're right. I think so many people are maybe discouraged to even watch TV or to go vote. I mean, I'm saying both because I really don't watch TV, and I'm like, I have to vote. I have to vote just because my people fought for us to vote, but I really don't want to vote. I don't know who I'm voting for, but at the end of the day, it's just I don't have a good choice. Put it like that.
And that's a larger dialogue that we should be having too. If these are the only candidates and so many people don't like either.
Neither one.
How did that happen?
I don't know. It could have been almost planned and plotted. I don't know.
I'm not saying that. I don't know that. But that's something that should,
Wait, do we have to say allegedly planned and plotted? We have to be careful since people threatening and lawsuits and stuff like that. And then that's another thing, freedom of speech. Like, we should be able to be free to create, which is a great thing that show business does for people. If you have a musical talent or acting or writing talent, we have that freedom to create. We're not held down or in a country where we can't do it. And so
let's keep it that way.
Let's talk in about 10 to 15 years and see where we are. Well, thank you so much for coming in. Are you on social media? What social media platforms are you on?
I am. I'm on all of them. I'm on Twitter, at The Real Tasha Dixon, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff.
All of it. Yeah. So it's the same across the board?
Yes.
And do you have a YouTube channel?
I do. I think it's just Tasha Dixon. That one I don't remember. There's not many videos on there.
Okay. So you don't put your shorts there?
Well, I have my shorts and my acting videos. But
there. Okay.
Yeah, so just a few.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Absolutely.
This has been great and informative, like I always like to say, because my show is about empowering and educating us. Myself, I'm learning. Yeah. We're learning. And if we keep talking about show business, we'll have a better idea on how it works. And we can encourage others to do exactly what you're doing and exactly what Jeff is doing and my purple hair producer is doing and me, you know. And so, and then my Rich that's over here on the boards, you know, we're all in this business some way.
We're all in this life together.
Yeah, so we got to figure it out and learn, and let's educate one another. Be sure to tag your social media entertainer. I'm going to end it at the end of this month, and then I will have a show December 17th. So you guys may not know who I will choose, but I will announce it right before that show. Don't forget to watch my show next Saturday at 12 o'clock Pacific time. And then right after my show for 30 minutes, I'm going to pick it up again. My sons, will be interviewing Sade Kamora Young. And we're so excited to have her coming in. Stay tuned and see you guys next week. Bye.
I'm about to tune in now. If you entertain, she wants to know your name. I'm about to tune in now. She let it be known. She let it be known. I'm about to tune in now. Wait, there you go. It's the Jackie Elam Show. Yeah, that's it. Track one. Can you?
3, 2. Thank you for tuning in to LA Talk Live and the Talk Live Broadcast Network, original reality radio, and crafted for your listening and viewing pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk. Stay tuned.
There you go. It's the Jackie Elam Show.
Author Jackie Elam. Jackie Elam is an experienced and working actress, mom, and manager whose 2 sons are child actors that have worked in motion pictures, modeling, television shows, and commercials. Cover Your Child in the Entertainment Industry is an enlightening and instructive book that teaches parents how to get their child into the entertainment industry and provides answers to some of the tough questions for parents who already have children in show business. Author Jackie Elam wrote this book to educate and empower parents to be proactive and learn the ins and outs of the business, as well as the laws that govern it in California and other states. As a parent, you'll learn what to look for in contracts, how you can avoid being a victim of fraud, set stories, how to take the pressure off of your child to make the entire process fun, and so much more. Order your copy of Cover Your Child in the Entertainment Industry today by logging on to www.jackieelam.com. Introducing.
Thank you for tuning into LA Talk Live and the Talk Live Broadcast Network, original reality radio, and crafted for your listening and viewing pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk. Stay tuned.